Hey sports fans, and welcome to another exciting episode of Cam Talk Sports. I'm your host Cameron Gooseby, and today I will be talking about my NFL Week 2 predictions between the Chicago Bears taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. These two teams are looking to get more momentum from last week's Week 1 game. At Cincinnati, they defeated the Minnesota Vikings by a score of 27-24 in overtime last week. It was an impressive win, and they really did their jobs last week. Now, for the Bengals, they have they have a very good offense, but their defense, it could be a bit better. But the one major flaw about the Cincinnati Bengals, they do not have a good offensive line, and without a good offensive line, they don't help you win you ball games. And I'm not trying to sound biased, but the Bears, since they have good pass rushers, since they have, in my opinion, since they have, in my opinion, one of the best defenses in the league, talent-wise, of course, then I don't think the Bears should really have a big struggle in this game against Cincinnati. Now, I know they do have a good air attack. They have guys like Jamar Chase. They still have Tyler Boyd back there. They have some really good receivers, and then not to mention they have a really good running back in Joe Mixon, one of the most underrated running backs in the NFL. But I don't think the Bears should really have a big struggle in this game against that offense. If anything, the one main thing I'm concerned about is the secondary for the Bears, because they gave up 34 points last game. They were not playing really good defensively. Offensively, the Bears were doing their best, but only scoring 14 points in the NFL and trying to win, it's not a easy task. And it proved, it proved that last week. And then not to mention, the Rams ate the Bears defensive backs alive in the secondary because Cooper Kupp was getting wide open. There was another wide receiver that got like a 73-yard touchdown reception. It was pretty bad. Also, with that Bears defense, they were really struggling to get to Matthew Stafford. There was only one sack on the night, and that came from Akeem Hicks and Robert Quinn combined. Khalil Mack didn't provide a lot of pressure. Bilal Nichols didn't provide a lot of pressure. And then Eddie Goldman, he's been out for the past year. And Eddie Goldman, I think, is one of the most important pieces on the defensive line, because with him, the Bears know how to stop the run. Without him, the Bears find it a lot harder to stop the run, because although they had Akeem Hicks last year, Akeem Hicks couldn't have just been the only one that could stop the run. Bilal Nichols was really good last year, but he was in his second year or his third year. So literally the Bears have to be healthy if they want to somehow contend with all these other teams. But now going to the offense, Matt Nagy, in my opinion, he has to go ahead and make smarter play calling, because with that play calling, it was terrible last game. Going forward on 4th and 9, going forward on 4th and 15, and then going forward on a 4th and 2. And not to mention, he's already in field goal range, and you're missing out on potential points. It honestly pisses me off, and it's not even a really smart decision to do these type of decisions on 4th down. Just go ahead and kick the ball, score some points, and make the game closer and make the game a lot more interesting. And then also, the only good thing about the offense I can say about is David Montgomery, because Montgomery, he had a really good game. He had 108 rushing yards. He scored a touchdown. His longest run of the day last week was 41 yards. So I think he can, run over this Bengals defense, because coming into the game, the defense for the Bengals, they are not really looking all that impressive. And sure, they beat the Minnesota Vikings last week, but is that going to be enough to beat the Bears this week? And I'm not trying to let my bias speak for me, but I don't think so, because since the Bears have wide receivers, they got Allen Robinson. The Bears have Darnell Mooney. The Bears have Marquise Goodwin. We have all these speed guys that can really go ahead and get away from anybody. But when Jalen Ramsey isn't lurking in the backfield, then I think the Bears will be okay. So, yeah. With the Bears playing the Bangles today, my final score prediction, if I was going to think, my final score prediction would be 24-20 the Bears, because I think they're going to be energized by the home crowd. I'm expected to be there. Matter of fact, I'm going to be at the Bears game today. Hopefully I don't lose my voice anymore, but I just want them to go ahead and get themselves a win this year, or get themselves a win to start off the year. So right now they're 0-1. I really think that the Bears can really use a win right now, just so they can have a better divisional chance. But then also the Bears could still lose this game, because Joe Burrow aired he did air that Vikings defense out. And although that offensive line gave up 5 sacks, Joe Burrow was still able to, just do Joe Burrow and do him. Joe Burrow literally threw a 50-yard bomb to his former college teammate in Jamar Chase. And Tyler Boyd had a good game last game. Joe Mixon also had a good game last game. But I really think that the Bears can really make a statement win at home. So with that being said, although the offense can struggle a little bit, we are going up against a noticeably weaker, not even weaker, but noticeably an easier opponent to go up against in the Cincinnati Bengals, and I really expect the Bears to put some points on the board. So Matt Nagy's play calling has to be excellent. The defense has to go on ahead and score a lot of points. I say score a lot of points. The defense has to go on ahead and stop the run, and provide a valuable pass rush. And then third and most importantly, the defense has to win the turnover game, because the defense didn't even force any turnovers last week, and we're forcing turnovers that helps you win ball games. And the more possessions the Bears have, I feel the more likelihood of a Bears victory. So, I'm looking for the Bears to get some interceptions. I'm looking for the Bears to force some fumbles and take it all the way back. Like, that's the type of defense the Bears need to play if they want to win this game. But with that being said, if you like this video, I want you guys to go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And I will see you guys later.